I may not understand exactly the ins and outs and the incredible magic of an audit, but I'm a human being who lives on the earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps. Like, to me, that's fucking corruption. I'm sorry. And if that blows your mind, and if you think like that's like a crazy agenda for me to have, I really think that that's institutional thinking.
Understand where you're trying to go, other than the dollars, which really bother you. The ability to pass an audit, or the fact that the DOD has not passed an audit, is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
what is
now is a question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. Care that includes both child care facilities, and it includes benefit that allows folks to go out on the economy to get child care and have that subsidized by the government.
So in this video, you're gonna see this lady like turn into a straight lizard person. Yeah, she's gonna start to contort and move around, and she gets to like pop locking in the chair, and she gets mad almost immediately. You could tell she's extremely uncomfortable. It's fascinating to watch. It's like watching a snake try to shed its skin, you know, and yeah, it's fascinating to watch. It's extremely revealing, and you can see she's extremely uncomfortable just by being asked simple questions. She gets angry immediately. You could tell she almost flies into a rage. Like, why do you even care about this? You could tell she's like really holding it in. And it's just fascinating. It really reveals the problems we face. We have a kind of like the Civil War days. We have like a plantation owner type class, a modern aristocracy, a modern nobility who like think that they are completely disconnected from the social contract of like by the people, for the people. You know, they think they're totally exempt from that. And it's fascinating because her attitude is almost like, what, you know, why are you even asking me this question? Why do you even care so much?
Do you feel like these are unfair questions of somebody within a department of that size and scope?
I think
you
have a particular thing you really want to talk about, and you're asking me other questions, but I don't think it's unfair to ask me about the audit. It's absolutely the case that the United States military should be able to pass an audit, and we've got to be on that pathway to get there.
But don't you think that does speak to the larger point that we're trying to get at, which is good journalism uncovers corruption? And
okay, I mean, good journalism does uncover corruption, but I'm not sure these two things are linked. An audit is not.
But they are.
Okay, so you need to explain to me, do you understand what an audit does and the degree to which it is linked to the question that you're asking?
I believe so.
Okay, go ahead. Give me your explanation.
No, I don't mind learning. So,
absolutely pitiful to watch her just drip with self-righteous indignation. Oh, well, maybe you're just not smart enough. You don't understand an audit.
What I would suggest is that the audit that they have in the military doesn't really look at whether or not there's efficacy. It's just whether they got delivered the thing that they ordered. And
that is any audit. That is any audit. That is true.
But generally, those audits aren't $400 billion for Raytheon and $1.7 trillion for a plane that doesn't seem to be doing. Like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose these pieces.
Please educate me on
Sure.
What
so an audit is exactly what you just described,
yes.
which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So, in my world,
that's
waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? And when there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look, I'm not saying this is on you and that you caused this, but I think it's a tough argument to
I'm pretty
make
sure
that.
I didn't cause it.
After watching this video, I'm confident that you know about it. You know, she literally exposed herself.
An $850 billion budget to an organization that can't pass an audit and tell you where that money went, like, I think most people would consider that somewhere in the realm of waste, fraud, or abuse, because they would wonder why that money isn't well accounted for. And especially when they see food insecurity on military bases, and they see.
You want to talk about that? Because that's a good, we should be talking. I mean,
Well,
I'm trying to understand where you're trying to go, other than the dollars, which really bother you.
I think it doesn't really bother me. I think it's all connected.
Okay.
You know, no, that is precisely our concern, is that you seem to have no regard for the dollars whatsoever.
I think
Tell
when
me that story. Tell me how you're thinking about that.
When I see a State Department get a certain amount of money and a military budget be 10 times that, and I see a struggle within government to get people like more basic services, and then that department that got that, I mean, we got out of 20 years of war and the Pentagon got a $50 billion raise. Like, that's shocking to me. Now, I may not understand exactly the ins and outs and the incredible magic of an audit, but I'm a human being who lives on the earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps. Like, to me, that's fucking corruption. I'm sorry. And if that blows your mind, and if you think like that's like a crazy agenda for me to have, I really think that that's institutional thinking, and that it's not looking at the day-to-day reality of the people that you call the greatest fighting force in the world. So I get back to this idea of like, I'm not looking to pick a fight with you, but I am surprised at that the reaction to these questions are, you don't know what an audit is, bucko. Like, that's just weird to me.
Okay, on food insecurity, major priority for us. A lot of funds are going toward that. The biggest issues we have found, first of all, we have significantly increased funding on food insecurity. And we do think we are getting much better on that. We believe some of the challenges we face are not what you often think of as, food insecurity as hunger. They're really around, do we have food available? For instance, as people come on and off shifts, is it healthy food? Those are the types of food insecurity issues we are seeing in and around our military installations. We have increased pay 2 times in a row here. We've done 4.6% pay raise last year. We've asked for a 5.2% pay raise this year. We've also increased basic allowances and increased housing and pay and other allowances. So overall, we definitely think we need to increase the spending that we are putting forward toward our service members and their families. We're putting our money where our mouth is. Another big area is childcare. Spending a lot more money on childcare. That includes both childcare facilities, and it includes benefit that allows folks to go out on the economy to get childcare and have that subsidized by the government. Those are all examples of ways we're trying to put money forward for our service members and their families.
I wonder about it a lot. Like, how did the left go so insanely radical to the point to where they're in like the highest levels of elected office? And I've really thought about it, and I think I've got it. And it's partway from this Jon Stewart video kind of made it all click for me, like that. 'Cause it's really revealing. It's, the educated class in this country, the government management class, aristocratic government officials, whatever you want to call them. If you notice, all the activists, all the hard left radical activists have been promoted to like extreme government positions of power and shit. Because this woman is an activist, period. She never should be in a high up position at the Pentagon. You can tell that in the first 5 minutes of even speaking to this woman. She's not going to do for a government official role with like real responsibilities with repercussions to the rest of the country. No way. But by the Democrat Party joining with the radicals, it allows the activist class to get pushed up in the social hierarchy. And I think that's what we're seeing here with this type of trash. Yeah, to me, this video is more proof of just everything that we've been saying.